If you've been doing more cardio to try to lose belly fat in midlife and instead your belly feels more stubborn, then this video is for you. Because for a lot of women in their 40s and 50s, cardio doesn't just stop working, it can actually make your menopause belly worse. And before anyone panics, this is not an anti-cardio rant. It's about understanding how your body responds to stress now and what kind of movement actually supports fat loss in midlife. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dariella. I'm a registered dietitian and a functional medicine practitioner, and I help women in their 40s and 50s support their hormones and metabolism in a way that actually works in midlife. Now, here's what I see all the time. A woman notices weight settling around her midsection, so she does what she's always been told to do. She does more cardio, more running, more HIIT workouts, more spin classes, more calories burned. But instead of leaning out, she feels puffier. She feels more inflamed, more exhausted, and frustrated that everything she's doing is right, and yet nothing is changing. And that's not because cardio is bad, it's because the stress response has changed. In midlife, your body becomes more sensitive to stress and to cortisol. So cardio, especially long or high intense cardio, is a physical stressor. In your 20s and 30s, your body could recover from that stress very quickly. But in perimenopause and menopause, recovery isn't as efficient, especially if you're also not sleeping well, you're under eating, you're juggling your life stressors, or skipping meals. So instead of cardio lowering your body fat, it can actually raise your cortisol, and then cortisol tells your body to hang on to fat, to store fat around your belly for protection. So this is where a lot of women get stuck. They think, I just need more discipline, I just need to push harder, I need to go a few more days a week. But pushing harder keeps your body in survival mode. And a body that feels under threat does not let go of body fat, especially belly fat. There's also a muscle piece, which is huge. So after 40, women naturally lose muscle more quickly. And muscle is what keeps your metabolism strong and your insulin sensitivity high. When cardio becomes the main form of exercise and your protein intake is not sufficient, your body's going to actually start breaking down muscle. Less muscle means a slower metabolism, higher insulin levels, and more fat storage. Again, especially around your midsection. So if cardio has been your go-to and that menopause belly doesn't budge, this doesn't mean you need to stop moving. It just means you need to start moving differently. So what actually works better in midlife is strength training. Strength training sends a very different signal to your body, and it tells the body that it needs to build muscle, that it's strong, and that it's safe. That will improve insulin sensitivity, it can lower cortisol over time, and it shifts your body composition, even if the scale doesn't show change right away. So stick with it. It does take time, but I promise it's so much better than cardio. Second is walking. Walking has been so incredibly underrated for midlife women, but here's where people start to get confused because they hear all this stuff on social media, especially advice about incline walking or weighted vest walking. Both incline and weighted vests can be super helpful, but they do slightly different things. And honestly, you don't need either one for walking to be effective. Now, walking on an incline will increase your heart rate, and it engages more muscles of the glutes and the legs. And for some women, that can be a great way to build strength and improve their insulin sensitivity without the stress response that cardio gives you, as long as the incline feels manageable and doesn't leave you wiped out. If the incline walking feels like you're pushing, you're gripping, you're white knuckling the treadmill, or you're holding your breath, that's probably a tip that you are stressing your body out and not supporting it. So pick an incline level that you can sustain for about 20 minutes, or do interval inclines where you go up and down and give your body a little break. Now, weighted vests work completely different. They add a gentle load that increases muscle engagement and bone stimulation, which can be really beneficial in midlife, especially for preserving your muscle and your bone density. But again, moderation is key here. A very light vest can be helpful, but a heavy vest or one that's too heavy for your body is going to change your posture and leave you sore for days if it's just too much. So be careful with the vest that you pick. I usually tell women to not go above 10% of their body weight. So if you're 120 pounds, that's a 12-pound vest. But again, it depends how strong you are to begin with. So don't overdo the weight on the vest thinking that more is better, okay? Now, you don't need to do either of these to see results or to see benefits. The most important thing is that walking lowers your stress, your cortisol levels. It supports your blood sugar, and it helps your body to feel safe. For most women, a flat walk after meals once a day or more is a super powerful upgrade. If you want to experiment, try one small tweak at a time and just notice how your body responds the next day, not just during the walk. But if walking feels calmer, clearer, if you're more energized after a walk, that's a really good sign that you're doing it right. If your walk leaves you more wired, exhausted, or inflamed, then it's probably causing more harm than good. Now, here's the part that most women don't want to hear at first, but feel actually a little bit of relief when they do. If you are doing intense cardio multiple times a week and you're under eating, which is extremely common, your body is getting constant signals of stress and scarcity. And that combination is what makes your belly stick around. So instead of asking, how can I burn more calories? A better question in midlife is, how can I help my body feel safe enough to release fat? That usually looks like strength training a few times a week, walking regularly, eating enough, especially enough protein, supporting sleep and recovery, and letting go of the idea that harder is always better. When those pieces come together, your body's going to respond. Now, this is exactly the kind of shift that I focus on inside the Midlife Metabolism Collaborative, which is now open. Because menopause belly isn't just about one workout, it's how movement and stress and hormones and blood sugar and nourishment all interact together. Inside the collaborative, I help you build an approach to movement that actually works for your midlife body, without burnout, without punishment. If you've been exhausted from trying to out-exercise your menopause belly, I would love to support you inside the collaborative. You can learn more down below. Click the link. I'll put it in the show notes for you. But for now, if your workouts have left you more tired, wired, inflamed, know that that is an SOS from your body. Your body does not want more punishment. It needs a smarter support system. All right, I will see you in the next video.